In this lesson, we will finish setting up our new finger controls. So we only have a few more steps. We need to make sure to tie in the bend axis of the bones that remain into the custom parameters we've created for them. And then we can go ahead and make sure that we rename each of our control objects. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started by working with the wiring dialog. So what we'll do is go ahead and grab our thumb control. Let's go ahead and right click and choose Wire Parameters. That's going to be Modified Object, Extra Controls, Mid, and we'll tie that to the y-axis of the mid bone. So that's Transform, Rotation, Zero Euler, Y. Remember, we'll use degrees to radians to make sure we have some fine control. So after we've connected, we'll go ahead and add the function deg to rad, and we'll go ahead and put mid in parentheses. We'll now go ahead and choose connect. There we have it. So now if we were to minimize this and start working with the mid parameter, you can see getting some really nice control. All right, great. Let's go ahead and set up the next bone. So all we need to do is go back to our wiring dialog. We'll go ahead and select the next bone object, and let's go ahead and load that in on the right side, and we'll search for Zero Euler, Y. We'll connect end into the y-axis here. Again, we'll go ahead and add our function, deg to rad, and we'll put end in parentheses. All right, let's go ahead and test this out. We always want to test our controls out just to be on the safe side. So that looks nice. So since this is really straightforward, I'll go ahead and leave the other fingers up to you. We can go ahead and rename these objects now. So that's going to be NML thumb 01. Go ahead and copy the name. Go to the index fingers control. Get this renamed. So that's NML index 01. We'll now go ahead and grab the next control object for the pinky and have that renamed. All right, great. What I'd also recommend doing is going in and cloning these objects and then bringing them over to the right side. So we could always go ahead and grab the thumb, the index control, and the pinky control. We'll press Control V to clone them as copies. And then we can go ahead and move them over. I might go ahead and do that using the world coordinate system. Let's go ahead and switch that to world. That way they all move in the same moment without one going one place, the other going another place. That's simply because we were moving in local mode. All right. So from here, once they have been brought over, since they're still selected, we might as well go ahead and recolor them. Use that same shade of green we've been using. And then we can go ahead and work on aligning these objects. So here's our thumb control. So we could always just go ahead and Alt-A align this to the thumb root. We'll next grab our index control and align that to our index bone. So you get the idea. We'll take our pinky control and make sure that that is aligned. And here's the great part. Our custom parameters are already set. So once we have linked these controls to the wrist, then once we have frozen our transforms, we can then go ahead and apply our orientation constraints, and then we can go ahead and work with our wiring dialog to take care of the other finger bones. So really straightforward, but I find that this type of approach is really flexible for rigging fingers. You could also add another level of control where you would, let's say, create a group above each of these objects and then use the reaction manager to quickly create fists and finger spreads, or finger presets, I should say. Again, this is just another idea. But now you know how to use these tools to add more to this rig, and that's the exciting part, and we are only at level 2. So by level 5, again, you'll learn several techniques that you can then pick and choose from to create the rig that you need for your project. But we're not at level 5 yet. What I'll do is go ahead and stop the lesson here, and in the next lesson, we're basically going to work on our last topic, which is working with the morpher modifier for facial expressions.